Carnifexes are living engines of destruction, towering monsters of unyielding armored chitin and knotted alien musculature. They are one of the toughest and deadliest of all a hive fleet's warrior creatures, created to spearhead assaults in massed battles. Though the hive mind has since created larger warrior organisms, few are the Carnifexes equal in terms of size to strength, nor in terms of sheer destructive potential. The Imperium's first recorded Carnifex encounters occurred in the battles leading to Hive Fleet Behemoth's invasion of Macragge. As the great star vessels of mankind strove with the unearthly living ships of the Tyranids, Carnifexes were to be found at the head of many boarding actions, tearing the defenders apart with scythe-shaped talons and immolating the survivors with incandescent bolts of bioplasma. These creatures swiftly became known as screamer killers, named for the terrible ululating shriek that accompanied their bioplasma discharges. The screamer killer was long thought by the Magos biologists to be the only breed of Carnifex, but as the Tyrannic wars grind on, many other iterations of this bioform have emerged to wreak horrific carnage upon Imperial forces. A particularly notorious example is the much-feared Thornback. Created by the hive mind to excel as much at range as in the crush of melee, the Thornback can launch a volley of spines from its dorsal thorax plates with lethal force, and can wield an array of ranged bioweapons. Doubtless there are many more Carnifex strains that have yet to be encountered by the Imperium, each with their own horrifying methods of slaughter. Even as the hive mind creates increasingly complex organisms to enable it to hunt and kill its prey, the Carnifex has remained the combat standard, a reliable and relatively simple bioform that can perform well in any form of frontline conflict. Unlike specialized organisms such as maliceptors and toxicrines, which require extensive time and resources for the hive fleets to spawn, the Carnifex can be generated swiftly and in great numbers. It is a rare Tyranid assault that does not include at least one brood of these mighty creatures. This allows the hive fleets to create a force perfectly suited to overcome and destroy a prey world's defenders. Worse still, Carnifexes are protected by a reinforced exoskeleton that is at least as dense as ceramite. Combined with their massive bulk and unnatural vitality, Carnifexes can shrug off an obscene amount of firepower and endure horrendous wounds before succumbing to death. Though Carnifexes lack the swiftness of other creatures in the Tyranid swarm, they more than make up for it in sheer brute force. A Carnifex's thunderous charge starts slowly, steely sinews straining as the beast propels its improbable bulk to top speed, making the ground itself shake. Its heavy footfalls beat out a sonorous drumbeat of doom as it strides forth. As the beast reaches full speed, its prey scatters before it or is trampled to death. A charging Carnifex is likened to a living battering ram, for their immense bulk can crush any opponent that bars its way and smash through almost any obstacle. Indeed, only a hardened fortress wall or super-heavy tank has any hope of surviving the impact and stalling the Carnifex's stampede. Sometimes not even this proves sufficient, as the few surviving records from Macragge's polar fortresses bear testament. The best way to survive a charging Carnifex is to be elsewhere when it arrives.